Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. We are going to start on the Volkswagen Golf GT TDI. Guys, in the previous video you would have seen us fitting this door. Very simple job, and it worked out really well for us. None of the hinges were bent. There was no damage to the seal apart from a very minor chip there. We've got a little hole in the wing mirror cap that we're going to need to repair. So today really the process is going to be stripping this door down. We're going to take this mirror off, we're going to repair that, we're going to put a bit of fiberglass inside it, a bit of filler over the top and repair that. Because we've got to get the door painted anyway, it's going to be no extra just to chuck that in and get it done. We've left it pretty much stripped out from the last time. We didn't put all the door panel on it or build it up, but obviously all the edge of the door is going to need doing as well. So basically I need to strip this door down, we need to completely flat it off and prep it for paint and get that mirror cover done. We're then going to get it down to the paint shop, it's all booked in, get it knocked out, get it all built back up. Let's crack on and get it done. Quite easy work of that there, guys. Only took about an hour to get it off, get everything unplugged and get it stripped out. I did strip a lot out of the door as well. As you can see, all of the rubbers have been removed. There is still one seal along the edge there, and this is the first one I've done, so it was very difficult to get out and I couldn't actually work out how to get it out. But I've said it before in the last video, these door skins are only bolted on, so for the sake of those few bolts there, those few bolts underneath there and the ones around the side, what we'll probably do is actually separate this into two parts and take it around the paint shop in two parts, and I'm sure that that will even make a much more nicer job of it as well, because all little places like down in here the painters normally can't get all the way down there anyway, so we'll tuck all the wiring out of the way and mask it up. And this door moulding, I'm not quite sure yet. We possibly will have to remove that and have it painted. The guy may say leave it on there. So we're going to crack on now, get this door all flatted off, get it prepped and then get it hung back on the car to take the car around there. Then we can remove it once we get there. As you would have seen there, that was very simple to do. A few star drives to undo and one little tiny one for the handle. And more than anything, I wanted to strip this off because I've never actually done one. What a genius idea. What a fantastic idea. There's some little black clips just on the back. They're like hooks that hook in. And it was just a case of undoing them and it just unclipped and come right off, very easy. It is a shame that blue door's damaged because it would have been fantastic to just flat that off, put the other door on, and it would have been really ready to go. Whoever thought of that, well, it goes without saying, they was a genius. There's the little bolt. When I was fitting the wing mirror on, I dropped one of those inside the door. So we will be putting them back on with a magnetic star drive because I was kind of worried about getting that out, but we're now flat all that off, and we will get them painted separately, and it's going to make a nice job of getting it all blue inside here so you can never tell. You can see that none of this is actually silver, it's in its normal colour, and you can see there where it changes, so it's got a little bit of base coat blown there and then it just goes to the normal original primer. And again, we've probably got the same down this end. Yeah, when you get to about there, you can see the silver starts fading out. So We haven't got to worry about doing all round inside this edge, but doing all round this edge, it's just going to be brilliant and make such a nice job of it. This was actually hidden behind like a black panel, and I believe that's probably one of the chassis numbers off of the original car that it come off, or some sort of identification number. It's not a chassis number, but still, the way it's hidden, it's a brilliant idea. Let's crack on and get this all flatted off. Guys, I just had a little bit of a thought. I'm obviously putting this video together, and I don't want to drag it out. I certainly don't want to sit here talking about what we're doing and what we've stripped out. We've stripped a door and that is it. It's now a bare shell. There's the bare skin. We're going to flat them off camera. We're then going to take them straight out the paint shop, and then we'll pick up as soon as this door comes back in colour. It don't rain, it pours, they say, but not in a bad way. It's just everything that has happened so fast this week. Now I'm picking up on that golf video 2 days later. We dropped it off to the paint shop. He's just called me, it's done. I'm now on my way around there to pick it up. So we'll get that straight back to the workshop and carry on with it. You've seen there, guys, I've literally just unloaded it, and this is the first look that me and Chris have had at the car. Obviously we've got that new mirror cap, and Chris has just looked at it straight away and said, that guy's a good painter. I mean, you can see me in that. It really looks nice. There's nothing in the paint, no imperfections, and he's painted all that door inside. Actually, we can cut this now. Sorry, a little bit close there, wasn't I? Let's get that door open. So he's done all the inside of the door. The mirror cap, that's perfect. And then looking in the boot, we got the skin there, and that looks incredible as well. And the guy is, like I say, he's a new guy we've never used before, and we will be using him from now on in the future because that paint works lovely. We're going to crack on now and try and get this car finished up. Let's get this door built back up. I've been back on it now for just over an hour. Got the door skin laid out, the trim's back on there. The majority of the work was the reverse process of basically the original door. I've taken that apart and got the original window out of it, just in case it had any numbers or anything like that on there. I thought I'd put the original one in, but that was quite time consuming. This was quite complicated to put back together. And believe it or not, after all that, the only thing that actually holds this complete handle system in there, once it's screwed to the door skin, it can't move, but why it's only held there at the moment, if you can see there, is a little elastic band, and that is all that holds that in there. I'm sure there's going to be quite a bit of work to do with, you've got the little bit in there for the handle. It's going to be quite hard to do, but I'm just going to crack on now, get the door skin fitted on there, and then get the door all lined up, because as you can see, we've just thrown it on there temporarily because that's part of the process, believe it or not. You have to put it on there, put the window up and down, and just make sure, open that up, and just make sure that everything is where it should be. Put the window up and down a couple of times, make sure that there's no issues with that, but so far so good. And as you can see, everything's going back together lovely. A bit I did want to mention, because I mentioned it earlier on in the video about the mirror cap. I said, yeah, there's that new mirror cap, but initially I did say that we was going to repair the old one because it had a hole in it. It wasn't until Chris popped it off, he said, Rob, there's a chunk missing out of that. So we actually went on eBay and bought that one for £11 delivered, and it just makes a nicer job of it. It hasn't had to be repaired. So I'm going to crack on and get that door skin fitted. Moving along very nicely. Me and Chris have just hung the door back on. It is quite heavy now, it is all back together. But this door lock, it was so time consuming and a pain to get that in there. I've never seen anything like it. I had it on the trestle, not trellis, and I've left this one out to do a bit of a demo. So this is basically what you've got inside the door, and then you slide the handle in, which is quite straightforward, but there's this little metal bracket on the back, and if you look just inside the door there's that little star drive in there, and you have to have that star drive in the right position for the handle to slot in. Then you have to undo the screw to get this little bit to move slightly. And you have to count the turns and then drop in the locking blank. And then once that drops in place, you have to basically unturn it and turn it anti-clockwise, just so that that little metal bracket moves round and locks that in. But you can't go too far, because if you do, you can see there, it goes under the handle, then it prevents the handle from working, the handle's stuck. So that was a little bit testing and time consuming, but sounds like a Golf. We've got the door on there, got the wing mirror on there. Now I've literally just got to move on and do the last little bits, which is door panel. Just checking there, because I heard something crunch as I shut that door. Just double check that. Yeah, lovely. I thought I might have broke something there, but yeah, moving on. Let's get the door panel fitted, get some grease on that door hinges because they sound terrible, and we're really getting there with it. So there we are, all completely back together. This bit of rubber was quite difficult as well. I had to put a lot of new double-sided tape on it, but look at that. Looks lovely. The painter painted inside and outside of the door, the wing mirror cap. He also blended it into that wing, into that quarter panel, and lacquered the whole side of the car. There's no signs of any blend. And when we got it back, I said to Chris, I'm sure he's painted the whole side of the car, but he hasn't. And he has made a fantastic job of it. You remember me saying earlier in the video, it is a new painter, and 100% we're going to be using him again. Not only was he fast, but he done it the right way, and there's no polishing or nothing for us to do. We're really happy with it. So the headlight does need doing, we know that. It's really dull and it looks horrible, but unfortunately we are out of wet and dry. We've got none left. So I'm just giving the battery a bit of a charge. I'm gonna whip it down to the car wash, have a valet done on it, and that headlight, we're not gonna worry about that today. We'll get it done, because the car's gonna be going up for sale at the end of the video. We'll get that done probably tomorrow off camera, but we're quite happy with how it come out, and I still believe now, after everything we've done to this car and the few hours we've put into it, it is gonna be a bargain, and it certainly was a bargain for us. It does have a few little marks and dinks around it, but don't forget, it is 16 years old. So let's get down the car wash, get it cleaned up and see what it does come up like. We've not touched it inside, and it is quite mucky in there still and needs a good clean. We're also going to be fitting the stereo at a later date. We have no idea what happened to the stereo, and there was no stereo in it when we purchased it, and there wasn't one in the pictures. So it obviously, the previous owner took their radio out of it before it went to auction. That's enough waffle, let's get involved, go and get it cleaned. Going to take it down to the usual spot, and then I thought Chris has got a beautiful place here, we'll just do it here. Look how that come up. Really pleased with it. And it wasn't a lot of work, this one, and we did, you know, we bought it when we bought that lorry load, so it was very cheap as well. If you remember, we got the whole lorry load, and it didn't really owe us a lot after we'd sold one of the cars. But there's the side that's been repaired. Let me just stand back a bit. I don't want to show too much, guys. I'm being careful here because we have bought some other vehicles and they're in the background. I'm trying not to show them and spoil the videos, but I think you'd agree that's come up lovely, that has. A lot of people did say to find a Golf without any rust rub, you will be really lucky. And guys, this car has got some rust on it. There's a little bit on, not that arch, there's a little bubble coming up there on the corner of the roof. And I believe, again, sorry, I've got to tilt the phone down a little bit because I don't want to show what the other vehicles are. There's those tiny little scuffs on that bumper we mentioned previously. and it's this front wing. You can see just there some bubbles starting to come up, but cracking car, and it's come up lovely inside. Again, you could go to town and have a full valet. I wondered why they took so long, but I've just realised it's got 2 sets of mats in it. But really has come up nice. Got those last couple of little jobs to do, like fitting a stereo, plug it in and find out why the airbag light's on, because there's no airbags deployed. It's going to be something simple. But yes, another one finished. The good bit, guys, the numbers. Just a couple of little bits before we do the numbers. Instagram, when we put out sneak peeks, just wanted to make everyone aware, just so they know, I do try and answer all of the questions on YouTube, but I don't actually respond to people on Instagram. I did just want to put that out there because some people might think I was being a bit ignorant, but genuinely, I just can't keep up with both. So that was, I just wanted to get that out there. The second thing I wanted to get out there was we have got an agent, if anybody contacts us, because we used to get it quite a lot, where they'd email and it was just difficult. So we have got an agent that deals with sponsorship deals if we get offered any and things like that. But he has actually rung me and said a lot of people keep emailing him, asking him questions about cars and stuff. I just wanted to let you know that that email address does not go through to us. So let's get down to the numbers on the Golf. So including the fees and the delivery on that car, it come to £461, which was a bargain. The car started and drove, and it was literally just that damage on the door. We spent £50 on the door. If you remember, I went up to Detling Breakers and got that. The mirror cover was £11 off of eBay. The paint man, I think he was looking after us. It was our first time, and he obviously wants some work from us, and we're going to give it to him. That was £150, which was a bargain. The valet that we've just had done, it was quite rough. I think it was about £17, but I'll give them 20. The MOT runs out in a few days, so I'm going to be doing that, and that's £40. And the radio, we can't add that onto here yet. I've got a question mark because we haven't got one for it, and I need to source one. So we've got a total of £733 for that car. That's a cheap diesel car, that is. And we're going to ask for it, what did we decide, $12.95? We're going to ask $12.95 for it, which is still a cheap car. There's not one on there that cheap. And that's going to give us a pre-tax profit of £556. So we're not going to be going and buying a Sunseeker this weekend with a profit off of that one, but it's still a profit's a profit. It's been great content for the channel. The last video had really good numbers and everybody really did enjoy it. So I'm not going to waffle on any longer. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, as usual, please do give us a thumbs up. We sure do appreciate it, and it shows your appreciation. If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram, where we put little sneak peeks out throughout the day at Salvage Rebuilds. Like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you very, very soon in the next one.